So legal requirement in Malaysia for EIA is required under Section 34A Environmental Quality Act 1974. It requires the project proponent of a prescribed activity to submit a report, which is the EIA report, to the Director General of Environmental Quality before approval for the proposed activity granted by the relevant approving authority. So before certain project can be done, okay, you have to submit EIA reports. So which activities are subject to EIA? Adakah semua projek ada EIA? So certain activities subject to EIA are prescribed under Environmental Quality Prescribed Activities, Environmental Impact Assessment Order 1987. So I'll show you after this what are those activities that need to have EIA reports. Okay, who can conduct EIA study? Boleh ke? Simply any engineers can conduct EIA study? Okay, no. EIA study has to be conducted by competent individuals who are registered with the Department of Environment under EIA Consultant Registration Scheme. So kalau you buka DOE punya website, okay, so dia akan listkan certain competent individuals, okay, not all. So how to be competent? So of course you have to go to for exams, kena datang dengan top, okay. Competent individuals ni there must be some criteria lah, okay. So EIA study team leader has to ensure that all members in the EIA study team are registered with the DOE. Okay, ni antara nama-nama yang memang EIA consultant who are registered with DOE, and then their a registered area. Okay, dia mahir dalam bidang apa. So how to conduct EIA? Okay, so the project proponents, the one who proposed the project, and EIA consultants may refer to handbook. Okay, so handbook ni dia lengkap, and EIA guidelines for specific activities published by the Department of Environment and other relevant guidelines. Okay, so there are certain steps to conduct EIA. I'll show you later. Project Approving Authority. So all prescribed activities need to obtain EIA approval from Director General. Okay, so the one yang you submit tu lah, sama ada approve ataupun tak. Prior to the giving of approval by the relevant federal or state government. So the approving authority is the government authority that has the task of deciding whether or not a project should be proceed. So not all EIA akan lulus. Okay, some of the EIA ada juga yang tak lulus. So the authorities include the following. Okay, the National Development Planning Committee. So all this team akan meeting untuk approve your EIA reports. Okay, the state planning authorities, the regional development authorities, Ministry of International Trade and Industry. So EIA procedure in Malaysia, there are two EIA procedure adopted in Malaysia. The first one is preliminary EIA, the second one is detailed EIA. Okay, so ada dua jenis. So preliminary means the assessment of impact due to those activities that are prescribed and reviewed by technical committee. So preliminary ni much more loose compared to detail. To be submitted to the DOE is 15 copies and 3 copies to the DOE headquarters. Okay, I'll show you later figure 3 and figure 4. The second one is detailed EIA. So detail maksudnya lagi detail lah reports tu. Ada taken for those project with major or significant impacts. Sebab tu dia lagi detail. Okay, major or significant impact to the environment. So it involved a report display for the public and affected community to comment. So some of the report you are available in the DOE website. So activities which need to go through detailed EIA procedure listed in Appendix 4. Okay, I'll show you later. Okay, these systems of reference for project which have been determined to require detailed assessment. So the project initiator must submit the terms of reference. Okay, so the number of terms of reference to be submitted is 35 copies. Ini untuk detail EIA saja. Okay, so the time taken for EIA review. Okay, difference if you compare preliminary dengan detail. So kalau preliminary report 5 weeks sahaja, but for detail EIA you need 12 weeks. Okay? Much more longer sebab dia lagi detail. Okay, major significant impact to environment. So how EIA report processed and concluded? Okay, so detailed EIA reports and project involve more than one state are processed and concluded at DOE headquarters, while preliminary reports processed and concluded by Department of Environment state sahaja. Okay, yang ni kena headquarters. Okay, so for consultation between project proponent and DOE about his proposal before submission of the EIA reports. DOE and other relevant department will often possess the useful information, in particular the data, the local problem and aspect of the project to be concerned. Okay, it will be beneficial for all concerned if project approval authorities can advise project proponent as soon as project is conceived. Okay, so by doing this, the issues of timing and delay can be avoided. Sebab dah foreseen awal-awal. Okay, so lastly for exercise, please do this exercise. Okay, so in Bintulu akan bina a new township. So as an EIA officer, predict the potential significant impacts. So soalan dia, you have to predict potential significant impacts of the project and advise on the appropriate mitigating and abatement measures. Maksudnya you kena bagi, bila you bagi problem, you have to list the how to overcome the problems. Okay, so the impact should be classified in terms of social, ecological and environment. Okay, so this is exercise for this topic.